sky. Feel the ground shaking underneath, trying to take me alive. Get ready for the fallout. Can't stop me now. I got no rival. I'ma find my way through the blood and pain. Game of survival. Anytime or place, watch 'em run away. I got none. I'll be standing on my own, never gonna take my throne. I got no rival. Watch 'em run away. I got no, I got no rival.
How are we doing? Back again. I know, sloppy seconds. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, that is going to be our new intro for next season when we do our EFL Scarbet Championship prediction show. Hope you enjoyed it. Took a while to edit. I mean, it cost a lot of money getting all those models to wear them shirts. Really, really did. Jokes, obviously. These websites you can do all this stuff with now. Don't need to start hiring and firing people. Thank you very much for tuning in. As I say, we are going to be doing a rumour mill. Now, I have been putting this video off, obviously, waiting for the announcement of Vincent Kompany. And now that that's finally come about, half of these rumours pretty much are based on his appointment. So it should be very, very interesting. Mark, I've just seen your comment. That's quality. To be fair, if you're new around here, guys, please do show your support. Please do check us out on all social media. In fact, let's play it early. Go and check us out on all our socials. So yeah, please do go and check out our socials. As I say, we are on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, the whole shebang. We're on it. The only thing we're not on is OnlyFans, and I've said that a few times. And you won't catch us on there either. You will not catch us on there. I do not have any nudes out there in the world, so you're all lucky. You're all safe. Nobody wants to see that. Guys, please do drop a like on the video, hit that notification bell if you want to be notified about any future videos. As I say, we will be doing a lot more stuff as the season progresses. So let's get into it then. Kompany's appointment has happened. He is here. He is now the new Burnley man to take us forward. Let's have a look at a couple of comments before we take on and have a look at the rumours. Big John's in. And he says, big up, mate. Hope you're well. Thank you for watching, John. I'm great, mate. I am not too bad. Fingers crossed things are going to go smoothly. Now, is in. He says, Daniel, is he bringing Sean Maloney as his number 2? It's pending. It's either him or Craig Bellamy, it seems, which is strange, especially with his ties to Blackburn. But it is what it is. The legend that is Mark Green, he is going to be joining us soon after we've gone through some of the rumours, so it'll be nice to get Mark on the show again. As it says there, make sure to like, share and subscribe. And I'm not the Dalai Lama, but I will take being called an inspiration and a good YouTuber from somebody like Mark Green anyway. He's a cracking content creator, and go and check out Mark Green's channel, doing the biz in terms of darts. And if you're Welsh, then obviously go support a fellow Welshman. But yeah, he's a great guy, great friend, and as you say there, a cracking YouTuber. Now says, glad you're back streaming, mate. It's been a while. Glad you put your personal issues to one side. Well, they're still there, but let's get on to it. Bold yin. Cheers, pal. Now says, you won't catch Danny on OnlyFans or Admire. Hey, you know a lot about these sites now. That's a bit worrying. OnlyFans, Admire Me, VP site. Hey, you know too much. There's too much there. Would you take Bellamy even though he's ex-bastard? We've all made mistakes. I mean, we had Paul Robinson as a keeper at one point, and he'd played for Blackburn. David Jones in our midfield. Michael Keane had a loan spell at Blackburn as well, and they've had successful times at Burnley. So who knows? We'll see in the long run. But either way, it's the big man in it in the first team manager's position, and Kompany's the one that obviously everyone's all excited about. And as Mark says there, of course, a Welshman in the ranks, he'll be very happy about that. We should have had two. We could potentially have Simon Davies as well joining. He worked with Kompany at Anderlecht, but it seems he may be doing a bit of a swivel and going to Spurs. So all will be revealed in the coming days, I'm sure. Right, let's have a look at some of these rumours then. So the rumour mill, as we say, it is silly season. Very, very, very silly season. Rumours and names are banded around like, they're just banded around like no tomorrow. Social media goes crazy. One person says one thing, it goes to another, and it's literally next minute it's flashing up on Sky. So we'll see what is going to be happening in terms of Burnley Football Club. This is just going to be obviously regarding Burnley, and a lot of these rumours are tailored to the appointment of Kompany, because a lot of these players are going to be Anderlecht players or former Anderlecht loanees, Manchester City youth players. So anyway, let's get in and about it. So the first one up, obviously, is Taylor Hardwood-Bellis. Now, it's reported that Kompany wants to make this one his first signing of the new era. He's highly rated, spent time on loan, funnily enough, with Blackburn. And I think he spent last season on loan with Stoke, I believe. So he's hoping we will see him in claret and blue before the season starts. He's an England under-21 international. And I'm looking forward to some of it. The fact that Kompany's obviously his contacts at Manchester City will be used. You can definitely tell that's going to happen. So we'll see what happens on the Hardwood-Bellis front. Next up, we have Tommy Doyle. Now, he would be class. For me, I think he'd be class in midfield. He had a really good season, unfortunately, for Mike at Cardiff. But he's a standout. He's another standout player for me. I think he'd work really well. Again, we are going to see a lot of these City players in this because he worked with their youth system prior to going off to Anderlecht. So he'll know a thing or two about some of these. Some of your comments now says, true story, Dan, Robert Lewandowski nearly became a Blackburn. Yeah, he did. Lewandowski nearly did become a Blackburn player, but the ash cloud, you see, that ash cloud knew what it were doing. If anything, it saved Robert Lewandowski's career. So, yeah, well, less said about that, the better. Johnny's in. He says, Vincent, yeah, get in. Vincent is the man. Now says, get Loudmouth on the loudest show in Barnet Sunshines. Yeah, whatever you mean by that, not a clue. Hey, Dan, how are you? Long time no see. Hope you're well, Renee. Hope you are good, my friend. Thank you for tuning in. So, yeah, Tommy Doyle is another name mentioned from the Man City Academy. Another one is Originate Muric. He's obviously a young keeper. He's not really going to get game time at Manchester City. He's another player who spent quite a few loans out as well. And well, I just think he's worked. I think he's worked with Kompany before. Actually, I think he's worked with Kompany before. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Mark says Doyle is an absolute baller. Yeah, I think he's a cracking little player. And I don't know what you're talking about, honestly. And Renee says, I'm sorry, I'm watching Soccer Aid's highlights. Not a problem with that. Not a problem with that at all. I mean, I won't tell you what happens, but I'll just say it's the usual England. Johnny says Muric still has some potential. He does, and sometimes it takes just that right move, that right fit, and that right club to get it to work. We've seen it with a few people. You know, it works wonders at a club. They become practically world beaters at the level that they are, and then they'll go on elsewhere, and it just doesn't work out. They falter, they crumble, and you're just like, shit, like, why did it never work out? And you almost feel as a club like you dodged a bullet because you think, oh, was that his downfall? Were we going to get that, or would he continue to be a success? Either way, we don't know what's going to happen. Football is mad. Now, some thoughts on Spurs signing Basuma for 25 million. Now, as I said, this is going to be about Burnley's rumours. I am going to do one soon about rumours that are just, wide of the spectrum, but we'll see what happens. Matt says Bailey, Peacock, Farrell, good enough for the Championship. Yeah, and so is Wayne Hennessy. I think Wayne Hennessy obviously probably had the game of his life for Wales the other. I see you, Mike. I see you. Had the game of his life the other week, and Gareth Bale even said for him, there's no other goalkeeper that he would put his whole heart of trust into. And I don't blame him. I think Hennessy will get a very good chance at Championship level if we are to lose Nick Pope. Renee says, do you think Kompany will win games in the Championship? Yes, definitely, 100%. Muric was decent at Forest. Yeah, he did have a good spell at Forest. People saying we don't need another keeper. I mean, obviously Luton have been linked with Will Norris, who's not going to get game time at our club anyway. So I won't surprise me him going as well. So will we need somebody else? We'll see. Static says, hey Dan, hope you're well. I hope you are well as well, Static. Thank you very much. And will McNeil stay or go? Interesting. Very, very interesting. The outgoings at Burnley there's going to be quite a few, no doubt about that. Pope, Corney, McNeil, Brownhill could be sniffed around that. Connor Roberts has been talked about with some Premier League suitors, which is why we were linked with another player that we'll mention in this video. So we'll see what happens. Johnny says a club of goalkeepers here. And as Mark said, Luton need a keeper. Kit says, do not mention losing Nick Pope. Kate's yet to understand that falling in love with a footballer, that passion of falling in love with a player at your club, and then they leave. So she's yet to understand that. But we will see. Please, Burnley replace Forest in the Premier League, Renee says. Fingers crossed it will at the end of the season. Hopefully so. Matt says, hopefully stay. Now says, will Vego stay or out the door? I don't know. The thing is, it's a tough one because I understand Burnley fans saying that why do you want out for? But it's not that he's not good enough for the Championship because he'll rip the Championship up a bit like Mitrovic for me. Personally, that's how I think. But I think it's because the fact that there's a World Cup, he needs to give himself the best opportunity to get in that Dutch side. So that's the only thing really about it. And now says Nick Pope will end up at Newcastle. Can't begrudge it. They've got the money for it. Now talking to Kate. Mark says there, don't fall in love with the Loney. Oh, it's happened too many times. Although Burnley have a knack of bringing somebody in on loan and then signing them permanently. So it's not been too bad. But yeah, who was it that we had on loan once? Paul McVeigh. We once had from Norwich. And I thought he was brilliant, but we didn't even end up signing him. And I was like, gutted. Absolutely gutted. But that's the thing with football. Vegos wants to leave, but he's not good enough for anyone else. Yeah, I think he'd have to go foreign. Besiktas or I think Eintracht Frankfurt have mentioned about him. Anyway, let's have a look at a couple more players then. And next up, we have Maktar Gueye. According to a foreign newspaper, Kompany has identified this new centre-forward as one of his top targets, obviously amid the doubts over, as we mentioned, Wout Weghorst. The Man City former skipper, is reportedly convinced that the 6'3" Gueye would fit in perfectly at a club who carve out plenty of opportunities via crosses and set pieces. Apparently, we've already talked to KV Oostend about Gueye. But as I say, it is all rumours. Don't quote me on it. But he did score 12 league goals last season and could potentially be bought for a bargain of £4 million. So, again, wouldn't be a bad signing and wouldn't be breaking the bank. Would not be breaking the bank either. Rennie says, because I hate Forest so much, please tell Kompany to replace Forest. I'll give him a ring at the end of this, Rennie. Don't worry about it. Matt says, Ben Mee, Trippier, both had on loan and signed. Yeah, two absolute legends. I was gutted about Trippier when he went as well, because he went for dirt cheap. I think we're like 3 million to Spurs. It were something ridiculously cheap, and that one's always been a bit painful for me. Mark's in saying Vegos was awful against us, to be honest. His goal was from a lucky deflected shot. Yeah, Connor Roberts just went from like, yeah, you're at Burnley to sort of, you are Burnley after what he said. And yeah, I can understand the frustration because obviously he's shite with his head. Johnny says, I haven't seen this one. Rennie says, we are linked to your wingers. Who isn't? And now says, thoughts on James Tarkowski being Everton bound? I think he's done himself in a little bit with that one. I personally think for a man that says, I want to get more chances in the England setup and I want more chances, I'd love to play Champions League football. Why Everton then? Why Everton? Michael Keane's not been doing well at Everton, and he's not around the England setup. Even if Everton were doing well, Michael Keane's not been around the England setup. So personally, I thought maybe Newcastle or Villa, Leicester even, would have been good shouts. But no, it's up to him. Hopefully it works out for him. We knew we were going to leave for a long time. And it goes with our well wishes anyway. Mike says, Tarky should have gone Leicester or West Ham. Yeah, West Ham. Again, another clue I didn't mention there. But yeah, West Ham's a very good shout because they're obviously going to be fighting for stuff. But yeah, Max Argui reportedly around 4 million. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. The next one, as I say, is Francis Amuzu, and he is an Anderlecht player. Most of these now play for Anderlecht. But if you think about it, as we just said, we're going to lose the likes of Maxwell Cornet. He's got a reported 17.5 million release clause, which I do not think will go untriggered for long. Obviously, McNeil's going to have his fair share of admirers, which means and Aaron Lennon's out of contract. So we're going to be left with Johan Berg Gudmundsson, who's got glass ankles. So he's going to be Burnley's only senior option out wide. So Amuzu could be an interesting acquisition. He's a Belgium under-21 international, a bit of a speed machine. He's got a 3.6 million clause in his deal as well, which could be interesting. He contributed 15 goals and assists last season, but according to Kompany, apparently there's more than his game than just the statistics. So for this one, I'd say I'll watch this space because he looks like a good, nippy little player that could potentially be on the radar at the club. Johnny says, no, Newcastle are too busy pestering Botman. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Rene says, I don't know his name. He plays on right wings. Yeah, he's this guy's a bit like can play forward. He's almost like a Ryan Sessegnon, but on the right hand side. Can play at right back, could play right wing. But yeah, he's a decent little player. And as Mark says there, Amuzu's one of the players that when I watched Anderlecht was such a bright talent and looked so good on the ball with his pace. That's what you want. That's what Burnley have been screaming out for. I think that's another reason why we've appointed Kompany, because of the success he had at Anderlecht with such a very young, inexperienced team, but he got the best out of them. And I think that's what Burnley want to do moving forward. Buy low, sell high sort of thing with their age as well. So we'll see what happens with Francis Amuzu. Next one is the Bayern Munich youngster, Joshua Zirkzee. Now, this one's going to be interesting because he's not going to get in at Bayern Munich. We all know that. If he does, his only opportunity at getting in there is now that Lewandowski's gone. Zirkzee's the only option that he's potentially got. However, he did spend last season on loan at Anderlecht, and he's fallen out of favour at Bayern Munich. So he had a difficult spell at Parma. Obviously, but when he worked with Kompany, from what I've got written down here, it looked like a match made in heaven. Kompany said that Zirkzee feels at home at Anderlecht as a professional. He plays here weekly for the first time in his career, and he just clicked with Kompany from day one, apparently. So he was keen on the idea of staying for another season at Anderlecht, but do not be surprised if the 21-year-old ends up following his boss's footsteps and ends up in Burnley Town Centre sometime soon. Not on the piss, just, stay in Burnley, as I say. Carl says, if we sell Pope, Corney, McNeil, Roberts, how many players do you think we need? I reckon about 10 or more. So I think we're already looking about that anyway, because looking at it, we've only got 14 outfield players, and 3 of them are long-term injuries. So we need to bulk buy, but we need to buy quality. Maisie's in, and she says, hi, Dan. Hope you are well, Maisie. Thank you for tuning in. Absolute cracking content creators. Please do go check out her channel as well. Renee says, do you think Kompany's better than Rooney for a manager? We will see. I mean, he's a championship manager, where Rooney's a League One manager. I think the fact that we've seen a bit of what Rooney can do in the league is another reason why he's probably just edges it at the moment. But, the doubters will be out about Kompany until we start seeing some games and seeing how it pans out. Mark says there as well, Xerxes is class. These signings are ones in the direction, going for hungry players that are wanting to fight and are ready to play. Exactly. And they're going to want to prove a point because they're young. They could get a chance at playing in the Premier League. So we'll see what happens. Cornet is linked with the big boys, Foxes. Yeah. I mean, he did enjoy his time sat on your pitch when he got injured one of the first games in, didn't he? He come off and then came back on and sat down. So he must have been taking in the surroundings for his obviously incoming move. But yeah, we'll see, Renee. Who knows? Fingers crossed we can keep hold of him. I very much doubt it. Kate's in the chat as well. The missus is back. So she's in the chat. And obviously Niall's saying hello to everybody. But yeah, Xerxes is another option. And as I say, he is out of favour at Bayern Munich. Sergio Gomez. I mean, it does look like we're literally just on an Anderlecht raid, but these are the names that have been mentioned. Now, Sergio Gomez is interesting. He's a left back, but he came from, I think it was Barcelona's youth academy. But yeah, this is probably the most ambitious and intriguing name. As I say, he played for Dortmund as well as Barcelona. He's a bit of a whiz kid, but he has started to deliver on his vast potential under Kompany last season. So he contributed a remarkable 7 goals and 15 assists from a defensive role. And he could either compete with or replace Charlie Taylor at Turf Moor. Who knows? Obviously, Eric Peters has been released. So there's no second choice left back. So we are going to need players in numbers. But this player does also have Premier League admirers too. Let's have a look what you guys are saying about Sergio Gomez. Renee says, Dan, please get Vestergaard and Ryan. Nah, you're all right, thanks. I'd rather shit in my hands and clap. Carl, as he says, do you have any news on Vidra signing a new contract? Not yet. I mean, we're still talking to Vids. We're still talking to Jack Cork as well, which I think Jack Cork's wanting a 2-year deal. I think we're trying to get that sorted out for him. But as I said, it's silly season. We don't know what's going to happen. But I think Vidra will sign a new deal. It's just a case of waiting for these players to come back off their holidays, obviously sit down with family. What do we do next? But I'm sure Jack Cork will sign a new deal, and I'm sure Vidra will be confirmed soon as well. Mark says, yes, Gomez come through La Masia with huge potential, but failed slightly at Dortmund, found his feet at Anderlecht. Totally agree. Couldn't put it any better myself. So, yeah, this is probably the most ambitious one, as I say. Can't see it happening, but if it does, all the merrier. As Kate says there, saying hi to Rennie. I'm all right, thank you. Just got back and we're preoccupied, hence the quietness. But yeah, she is back. She's been on a walk with her dad, and now she's back. Pendlehill takes it out here. It's a bugger her. So let's look at the next one, and we have Josh Cullen. Now, Josh Cullen came through the West Ham Youth Academy. He's pretty much, well, let's just say, right, we've got Ashley Westwood out. Ashley Westwood's not going to be returning anytime soon due to his ankle injury. That was just, horrible to see. There's some, obviously, murmurs around Josh Brownhill's future, which, is he going to make a move back to the Premier League? Is he not? The door's open for obviously anybody in that centre, but we do need a deep lying midfielder, and obviously Cullen would fit the mould. It was reported a couple of weeks ago that Burnley have scouted him recently, and also prior to Sean Dyche receiving his P45. So it seems he's been on Burnley's radar for quite some time. So we may see a little bit more about Josh Cullen, which will be interesting. As I say, fingers crossed we can keep Brownhill, but the likes of, as I said earlier, Jack Cork maybe being out of contract and not signing a new deal, Westwood being out injured, could be a make way for Josh Cullen to come in. Mark says, great signing if you get this one in, and played unbelievable for Bradford against us not long ago. Well, fingers crossed he'll rip it up for Burnley as well if he does come. Who is Burnley's rivals? Well, narrow it down next season. It's practically a northern affair, is the Championship. You've got Preston, Blackpool, and then the dirty inbreds down the road, Blackburn, just to narrow it down for you people that don't know what I'm on about. And yeah, it's Wigan are in there as well. Don't forget the old pie eating contest that I'd love to do down there. But yeah, it's going to be interesting season next season. I'm looking forward to it. Really am. Kate says, I'm sure they all wanted to know that. I didn't do a typical Pendle walk. I'm genuinely knackered. It was long and hot. I'm not even going to say anything that came to my mind. Do not do it. Do not do it. But yeah, obviously the walk for charity on Saturday is going to be a killer. And I will mention that very shortly as well. So yeah, moving on to the next one from Josh Cullen is Mandela Keita. And to be fair, Rene, you should know this club. You should know this club because they are Leicester's little sister, little brother club, would you say? Obviously, this is another Belgium under-21 ace. He's been on Burnley's radar previous. He's also, we've apparently made an inquiry for the teenage midfielder, but so have Sheffield United, Norwich, and also Torino, I believe. So if he is decent and clubs are sniffing, you'd probably expect Leicester to go, no, you're going to come to us. We'll see on Mandela Keita. We've not really got much to say on him because he's, as I say, he's pretty much a Leicester man in terms of the way you look at it. Box says, Jordan, how are you, Box? Hope you are well. And Carl says, what do you think of Collins being our new captain, or do you think he's still too young? I don't know. Sometimes the younger the better because they've got more progression to sort of lead into it. I think, if anything, if we keep hold of Nick Pope may get the captain set as almost like, if you stay with us, you'll be club captain. It's almost like it's a little more incentive to stay. Not that he will, but who knows, that we could use that as a little bit of a make weight in trying to keep him at the club. And as Box says there, free Nelson Mandela. Yeah, I mean, it's strange to see Burnley linked with all these foreign players as well because, well, we've been known for many years as Brexit FC, obviously down to the Dash and his dinosaur football, but let's see what's going to happen. Trust me, Carl, he's ready. He's ready. He is ready. He's a quality player. He's really come on leaps and bounds this season as well, and really ripping it up for the Republic of Ireland. So sorry to all you Scotland fans out there that had to sit through that. Nah, I joke. And like Renee says, yes, Dan, I think I do. And does he play defender? No, he's a midfielder. He's a midfielder, but I don't know. It might be a bit of a CDM. I'm not 100% sure. Next up, then, we have, this is the one where I was telling you about earlier when I was saying about Connor Roberts has got some Premier League suitors potentially looking at him. Matt Lawton is getting older. Not saying that he's past it, but we'll see. And Jordan Gabriel, the Blackpool right back, he's been linked with a move. And he's I think it's only his first full season last season at Blackpool. He signed to Blackpool from Nottingham Forest. I think he spent time on loan first and then they signed him permanently, but he looks like a cracking little player. From what I've looked at and seen, he looks like he'd fit the Burnley mould quite well. And yeah, it's just whether he'd jump ship to Burnley. I mean, if anything, it'd probably leave a bit of a sour taste in Blackpool's mouth. Lee Charles TV, the channel I was on yesterday, he's obviously has told me to obviously keep well away, and I think that's just because he doesn't want to lose him. As I said, he's not been there long, but he is a name that's been banded around. And for me, I don't think if we do keep hold of Roberts, I don't think we're going to need a right back personally. Obviously, I know Phil Bardsley's been released, but you've got Matt Lawton there, you've got Connor Roberts. You're not going to want three people. Nobody's going to want to be that third choice, and especially a new signing coming in isn't going to want to play that either. One Rovers Vlogs, Charlie, I think it is in the house. He says, afternoon, mate. Afternoon to yourself. Hope you are well. Joey Barton's Blue and White Army and all that jazz. Mark's very happy, can see. Box says, will Kompany loan some City youngsters? Yeah, definitely. See, McAtee's not been mentioned to us. I think he's been mentioned with Sheffield United and one or two other clubs as well. But who knows? Who knows? Apparently, the Kompany, obviously, we've been anticipating the Kompany news for a good month now. And I think he's already been working with Alan Pace and the directors in trying to, get some of those targets in mind and put them on paper, and let's see what we can come up with. So I'm sure he'll have been speaking to a few people. But McAtee's another giant name that I would love at the club. Cole Palmer is another one I think would do pretty well if we were to lose a winger. But we don't just want to be Man City's feeder team. We obviously want to be Burnley FC and find our own core group of players. Mark says, what a signing this would be. Unreal for Blackpool this year. Mark says, Connor is leaving, mate. I think it wouldn't surprise me. He's a great right back. Absolute great right back. Romeo Lavia would be unreal signing. Such a good player. And he's Belgium also. Yeah, another one. We could just become Belgium. Just call us Belgium FC instead of Burnley instead. But either way, I'm looking forward to it. I like some of the names that are being banded. Rene says our youngsters need to play to start in 11 players and loan them out or sell them. Well, let's see. Box says loan some United players. Like who? Knowing Burnley, they'd just take Tom Eaton back or something like that. And Rene says you need Dan James from Leeds. Nobody needs Dan James, not even Leeds. A guy who's got all the potential and yet does nothing with it. It just screams. He just screams Adel Taarabt to me. Dan James. He's got it something in his locker, but it's just not all there. He's not the finished product in terms of off the pitch as well. Matt says Barden box. Lionel James. Eesh. I can't believe you call him that, Mark. Next up on the list, we have Reece Oxford. Now, this one's a strange one because he's been around a little bit now in terms of loans. He's not really had a set club since he left West Ham. He was there for quite a few years. Came through West Ham's youth system. Been on loan to quite a few. I think he's been on loan to Sheffield Wednesday. I'm not sure. Reece Oxford. I can't remember. I don't know why. Somebody just tells me Sheffield Wednesday in my head. But yeah, he is at FC Augsburg. And it's interesting that obviously we are going to need centre backs. It's where we're going to be a bit bleak. We've got Nathan Collins and Kevin Long. Losing two players like Tarkowski and Ben Mee is huge. I mean, I'd never thought I'd see Ben Mee leave Burnley Football Club. I thought he'd be captain until his last breath. Pretty much, he's Mr. Burnley to a lot of us. So it is going to be strange. Box says Ethan Laird, Charlie Savage, Shola Shortire. Are some of them ready for the Championship, or would you say they need to go a little bit lower? Rene says San Samare, Kunshaw Palistre, Tatum Menge, Dylan Levitt. We'll see. Reece Oxford is such a bright talent with huge prosperity and potential. Never really settled, like he said. No, and again, I go back to what I said earlier. It may be just that a certain player fits a certain club. I do love the fact that we are going to have this major rebuild. So we are going to be linked with players left, right, and centre, and there probably is going to be other rumour videos before the season starts. But again, a player that has been linked and has come through the English pyramid, as I say, with West Ham. Matt says there, Box Man United have just offered for Ericsson. Rene says we need the money. Box says, I remember when Oxford made his debut at Arsenal, West Ham battered them. Yeah. And obviously Box saying that he'd take Christian Eriksen at United. He's a better 10 than Bruno. And Mark agrees. As Mark says there, we are 61 away from 500. We are 61 away from 500. It sounds like a huge number, but with your guys' help, we can get there. So please do show your support. As I said earlier, drop a like on the video, hit that subscribe button. It costs nothing. It costs nothing, and it helps the channel grow. So please do that. Whether you're a Burnley fan, a football fan, no matter what, drop us a like. We aren't just going to be doing Burnley stuff. There is going to be other stuff throughout the season as well. So please do support us. I don't know whether we've got any next up. No, it isn't. It is just pretty much every player that's been linked can play in a full 4-4-2. As I say, we've got Muric in goal. Gabriel would be your right back with Hardwood Bellis and Reece Oxford at the centre. Sergio Gomez on the left. Got Amuzu on the right with Tommy Doyle and Josh Cullen in the centre of the park, with Mandela Keita playing as a left winger. Matt Targay and Xerxes up top as well. So it's funny how we managed to create a 4-4-2 or a system that works with all the rumoured 11. But yeah, it's just rumours. It is just rumours. Let's obviously go back to the beginning, and I am going to bring in my good friend and Welsh wizard himself, Mark Green. How are you doing?
I'm still on a high of that unbelievable game in Cardiff not so long ago. I'm on a right. Newport have made 5 signings already as well, so I'm loving life at the moment. So thanks for getting.
I bet you are. I mean, first of all, you qualified for the World Cup. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, looking forward to going further than England in a major tournament again. So really looking forward to that. That game between us and you hopefully will be for top spot if we can get past USA and Iran in our first 2 games. But yeah, obviously I've never seen it before. The last time was 58. Obviously I wasn't born then, as you can tell. And yeah, just to be at a World Cup just hits different. And then the whole country just seems a lot more connected with football. So, the stereotype, Wales just known for rugby, you're only known for rugby this, rugby that. But now we've actually qualified for the Football World Cup. It's like, no, football is a main priority in Wales.
To answer that question, Mark, they're welcome. Everybody's welcome. But, they will get abused and laughed at. To a degree, not to a point of having to be reported, but yeah, to a degree.
Between the two.
Box says, Kompany going to Burnley suggests he'll be back with money and expects bounce back ASAP. Who knows? Let's hope that the chairman isn't just selling him a lemon and telling him what he wants to hear, and practically we're just in the same shit that we've been in for many a year. Vego staying. Nah, I think he'll want to move. Whether he gets it or not is going to be a different question. And the only reason he wants it is to increase his chances for the World Cup. He said he'd love to carry on playing for Burnley because at the end of the day, he didn't really rip it up in the Premier League. And I understand people looking at it going, he just don't want to play in the Championship. He thinks he's a Premier League player, but he doesn't. He's even said that he doesn't think that. He doesn't think that I'm a Premier League player and should be doing better. He's just ambitious and wants to get into the starting 11 of the Dutch team. And with the World Cup round the corner, now's his only chance to get that move to play, find form and get himself where it is. Although I do think if he did rip it up in the Championship like Mitrovic, he's still going to get a chance because he's still in the frame. He's still in the frame with Holland. So
not just the Championship is such a high sort of regarded league now, isn't it? We see in the last couple of years how much players go from the Championship to Premier League clubs. We saw it this year with Fabio Carvalho making the switch from Fulham to Liverpool. You see that the Championship is now probably one of the 6th best leagues in the world after France, Italy, Germany, Spain, England. Yeah, that's all of them. I think it's bigger than the Portuguese league. I think it's bigger than the Scottish league. I think it's bigger than the Dutch league at times. So the Championship football does actually warrant, high reputation. And to be honest, look, like you said, he's already in the team as it is, Weghorst. So it would have to be him playing awful to get out of that team. And then they're not blessed with unbelievable strikers, the Dutch. They've got obviously Madden, they've got Memphis, they've got Weghorst, and then you're sort of scraping off the barrel because a lot of them don't play up front. They just play off the wing, don't they? Like Memphis.
Yeah. Guys, as I said, please do check out our socials. I will put, obviously, we'll be back in just a moment, but yeah, please check us out on all these platforms. So, before you go, sorry, I just got Elvis.
Didn't have you then as a singer, Dan?
Oh, I love singing, mate. I love singing. I've debated doing a bit of a YouTube channel, side channel, sort of doing it, but I haven't. I just haven't. I'm going to stick to chatting shit and football.
Not my side project is darts and yours is singing. I think it would go hand in hand.
It will, especially if you sat at the darts pissed up singing. That's even better.
Yeah, it is. It is. Actually. Well, and most of them are pissed up throwing some of the times when you watch it. So, so it's not just the singing that they're pissed up when they're doing.
That's true. Kate says Daniel is the first on karaoke. Yeah, it's like, oh, get up. I'm like, no, I need some Dutch courage. I'll get it, and then I'll get up on the karaoke, and then after that, you're trying to spraz my fingers off the microphone. So it's so fun. Kate said also you uploaded many videos of you singing and deleted them all. Yeah, I did. I did. Renee says, are you joining Chris at 9 or 8 p.m? I'll be joining Chris at 7 p.m. For England watch-along against Hungary. So yeah, it's.
I am hungry, to be honest. So thanks for taking that into consideration.
It's good. It's the thing is with these England watch-alongs, I'm like, I don't know. Obviously, the Nation League, it's just glorified friendlies, isn't it? But
not for us, it's not.
Oh no. But I don't know. Obviously, I will be there. I will be there over on Leicester Till I Die TV at 7 p.m. or if not, just after. And Kate says that I apparently need to pay her to leave the room for this game. I'll make you a brew. How does that sound later on? I'm getting a nod at the side of me, so that's always a good sign.
I'll make you a brew. All right, then. No worries.
I mean, some of them names that got mentioned, Matt, any that you think could potentially come off, could happen?
I think the most likely ones are going to be the English players, I think, because you see it quite a few times in the Championship. Especially last season, Joel Piroe came in from Holland to sign for Swansea, scored 17 goals in the Championship. So you could see the likes of Keita or Amuzu or Joshua Zirkzee coming in, but the ones that I would be more sort of leaning towards are Howard Bellis. He's been at Stoke last season. He was at Blackburn for time as well. He was linked with Cardiff, I think, at one stage. Probably hate to say it, but Cardiff's best player last season, Tommy Doyle. He was absolutely superb last season for them. Man City were edging to send him out on loan. There was reports that they didn't want to do it. They were sort of not allowing themselves to do it because they wanted him to go to a Premier League club. Cardiff came in and said, sort of, we'll take him on loan. And Man City were like, well, go on then, take him. And probably Reece Oxford. I would love you to get Josh Cullen because I think he's a fantastic player. I don't know if that'll happen. I think maybe somewhere a little bit more local for him. Potentially, because he obviously was playing in Belgium last year, wasn't he? So maybe there might be a sort of Belgian team that go in for him. But I would say Reece Oxford, Howard Bellis, and probably Tommy Doyle would be the most likely that you would sign in the summer.
No, fair shout, fair shout. What have you got coming up on your channel and stuff, Mark? What's occurring on Mark Green's YouTube channel? Well,
actually, you're talking about a watch along. Watching Boring England. I'll be doing a fun watch along watching the Dutch against Wales tonight. So that'll be live from about 7:30, well, not 7:45, because that's when it kicks off. But 7:30, roughly about there.
For the Dutch fans.
No. Vegas, I've got to talk to you about Connor Roberts. Connor Roberts, he is 100% British Welsh. British Welsh. I love the Brexit that the absolute housery that he done against Vegas. Why didn't you do that for Burnley this season? That was just that was just funny as hell. But yeah, so that watch will start at 7:30, and then after that will be an instant match reaction for the game, just like a 2-3 minute clip, giving my thoughts on the game, and then we've got the World Cup of Darts, which starts on Thursday, which hopefully that's something that Wales can bring home. So yeah, and obviously any Newport players that do sign there'll be a video on it. I did miss one signing, but we won't be bloody missing anymore. I'll tell you that.
Oh, happy days, happy days. We've got Chris in the chat. I've not seen him in the chat before. Chris P, Welsh Burnley fan. Get in. What a ledge. Yeah, thank you for coming in, mate. Thank you very, very much. Obviously, yeah. I'm guessing you'll be watching the Wales game, and obviously, as Mark said, he's doing a watch along for it. So do check out Mark's channel. He'll be certainly giving some good feedback on the match. But yeah, if you are new around here and you haven't subscribed already, please do consider it. It does help. Drop a like on the video and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified of any future videos. It has been quiet on the channel recently. As I said earlier, it's just a case of with relegation and knowing that there's no football for a good 2 months, it makes you just, sends you a bit funny. So we'll see. But thank you for tuning in. It's really nice to see you here and see some new faces.
Sorry to cut you off, Dan. I've literally would just had an email come through that Newport have confirmed the pre-season friendly against Forest Green.
Oh.
Week before the end of the season, 23rd of July, with the season starting on the 30th of July, away at Forest Green on a Saturday.
Oh.
Looking forward to that. Beat them before they get relegated to League Two. Love that.
Get yourself a vegan steak bake from Greg's.
Or just do what I've done before on my vlog. I started my vlog for the Forest Green game and then tucked into a Greg's pasty. Got pelted for that, but I thought it was quite funny.
It's great, isn't it? Renee says, I wanted Johnson to Leicester, like Wes Morgan to come from Forest to Leicester. Brennan Johnson is going to get, if he's going to move to somewhere decent. And I'm not saying Leicester isn't decent, but I'm saying that from Forest to Leicester, now that you're in the same division, probably isn't going to happen.
Yeah. He's a beautiful man, Rennie. I'll give you that. He's a absolute.
His dad were a decent player as well. His dad, David Johnson, he played for Burnley on loan, but under Stan Turner, and we wanted to sign him permanently. But then after that, I think he went on to Sheffield Wednesday.
Do you see Ramsey's assist for his goal on Saturday?
No.
Johnson scored for Wales on Saturday, and Ramsey fell on the floor, got up, pirouetted the ball, spun it around, and played it into Johnson, and he scored.
Wow!
Yeah, smash the like. Let me check how many.
Yeah, please do smash the likes. It really does help the algorithm of YouTube as well. So as Delboy says there, big up Danny Boy and Mike. And Chris says that rumours that Josh Cullen isn't far from being a done deal to Burnley, which for me, that would be phenomenal first addition, especially if it's a permanent. Obviously, I think Hardwood Bellis will probably be a loan. Maybe with a view to a permanent. Who knows? We will see. But yeah, if that's rumoured to be done, then absolute quality. Kit says I'm a slacker. Not new there. Born a lazy bastard, forever a lazy bastard. That's what I'll say. Delby says Josh Cullen will be a great signing for Burnley. Yeah, I think he would. Chris says, I'm excited for playing in the Championship. Not going to lie, last couple of seasons have been depressing. I'm with you. I'm looking forward to it because the thing is with the Championship, it's so much more entertaining. The football's better. It's more regular, Saturday, Tuesday. And then you've also...
Not just that. From the Premier League, no disrespect to Burnley, Norwich and Watford, from the Premier League, 90% of the games you're getting battered or you're losing. Where the Championship, you're going to be winning 80 to 90% of them.
Yeah, I just don't want us to be a yo-yo club. I don't want us to become that. I'd rather us, go up, have a good couple of seasons there, and if it does falter, it falters. But then, at least we would, we're not going to be seen as, Burnley become a yo-yo club. Might as well just, as soon as they come up, send them down again. I don't want us to be looked at like that. But I'm looking forward to it in terms of no VAR, which means as soon as the ball hits the back of the net, you can jump up, you can celebrate. There's none of this bullshit unless it's an offside.
And then Brennan Johnson scored on Saturday in the Wales game, and then it come up on the screen in the Cardiff Stadium VAR check. I was like, for God's sake, I thought I got away from this crap. It got yeah, no VAR in EFL is a beautiful thing.
Delboy says Greg's is fucking awful food. Thank God they don't have them in Ireland.
You know what? I could just imagine Delboy saying that. I know he's typed there. I can just imagine him in his Irish. Terrible.
The thing is, every time Delboy writes something, I read it in his voice.
Yeah. I
read it in the Irish voice. Love it. Renee says Lionel Johnson. Probably talking about Boris. Chris says, what do you think Kompany will bring to our club? You know what? I think Kompany's going to surprise a few people. I think you look at the fact that, don't worry, Burnley, 30 wins, 0 draws, 4 losses. Yeah, well, I'll take that. Can't see it, though. What do you think Kompany will bring? I think he's going to surprise a few people. I think it is a risk. As I said earlier, it is a risky move. He's not well renowned in English management, but neither was Lampard, neither was Rooney, and even more so, neither was Sean Dyche when we signed him.
Patrick Vieira is another one. He done stuff in France in the MLS, came to Palace and completely changed them.
Sean Dyche had 1 or 2 games at Watford. The Pozzos kicked him to the curb, and then that was it. He was a risky signing. I only have to go back to my memories of his appointment on Facebook, and I've gone, why have we gone for the cheap option again? Some guy out of contract that hadn't even done. I was slating the move for Sean Dyche, but obviously, looking back now, I'll openly admit that I was one of those doubters. But it's going to be the same with Kompany. And again, like Dyche, is going to need time. And I think this time round, though, we can rebuild, we can go again, and hopefully things, will look better. And as Chris says there, a Kompany appointment is being compared to Vieira at Palace, and fingers crossed it starts exactly the same way.
Yeah, because I said when Vieira went in there, they were so stuck in the Roy Hodgson boring defensive football to Vieira expansive, and there's literally the exact same to Burnley boring rubbish Sean Dyche football to exciting expansive Kompany football. It's literally the exact same. Just replace Kompany and Dyche with Vieira and Hodgson, and Palace with Burnley. That's literally the only difference. Is the exact same thing.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Right, we are going to wrap it up. Obviously, there is kids to pick up from school and all sorts happening. But there is going to be an England watch-along tonight. Not on this channel, but over on Leicester Till I Die TV. As I say, if you do get yourself over there, if you do want to watch the watch-along with me and Chris, or as Chris in the chat, being a Welsh Burnley fan, may well be over on Mark's channel. As I say, if you haven't subscribed already, please do. I can't stress it enough how much it helps the channel grow and helps us put out better content, be able to do more things, get us more recognition, to get out there and collab with all these other stars that are sort of higher up in YouTube. We are going to be trying to do a lot more content next season, so please do stay with us for that.
Chris, legend.
Cheers, fella. Chris says we should expect promotion next season. The rebuild will take more than one season. Yeah, I agree. I'm not too fussed if we don't go up. I'm not too fussed. I'd rather us sort of steady it and then potentially go up, but we'll see. Rene says, indeed he is staying and he's going out nowhere. Big clubs like City, Liverpool, United, Chelsea. Well, who knows? And Chris says there, I'll come over on Mark's channel. There you go.
You can watch an exciting game, Chris, rather than
a Dutch masterclass.
And then I'll tell you what, if Vego scores again, I'll bloody smash my head through the computer screen. No, that's a bit too much.
To be honest, if Vego scores again, I'll smash my head through the computer screen because, again, why couldn't he do that at Burnley?
Well, if Connor Roberts said that again, that would be funny. Come on, you imagine he'd done it in like a Dutch. He translated it in. It was in Connor Roberts, what a man.
Spat on the Dutch. Basically,
Le Amsterdam.
If you want to see Daniel's gorgeous mush, I won't go that far. You can find him over on Leicester TV at 7 p.m. So yeah, please do check us out. Mark, thank you for coming in and giving us a bit of insight, and also just being the legend that you are. Tell people where they can find you, and yeah, it's just good to see you again.
Yeah, it's good to see you. First of all, obviously like and subscribe to Dan. First of all, yeah, we will be live from 7:30 for the Holland therapy session as they get battered by Wales tonight. So yeah, that'll be live at 7:30, and then there will be an instant match reaction as soon as the game is finished, which will be like a 2-3 minute video, just giving my thoughts on the game and stuff like that. And thanks for getting me back on. It's been a while, but we're reunited again. We're both EFL friends.
Yeah. Oh, EFL friends.
Absolutely.
And Chris says you can find Mark in his own Narnia world.
Piss off. No. Saying that, Chris.
Renee says bye. Niall says great stream. Kate says ta-da. But yeah, guys, thank you very, very much for watching. As I say, you'll catch me on Leicester TV tonight at 7. Mark's obviously doing a live watch along for the Wales-Holland game, so please do go check him out for that. Thank you very, very much for watching. As I say, please do drop a subscribe, drop a like on the video, and we'll see you guys soon with another video very, very soon. I'm sure it will. Content's coming thick and fast now. Only a week from the... Is it a week now from the fixtures? Week and a bit?
It's the 23rd. Yeah, 9 days.
Yeah. So there you go. There you go. I'm not looking forward to that, but it should be interesting. Guys, thank you very much. All the best. Take care and see you guys very soon. Vincent Kompany's Claret and Blue Army.
We're off to Qatar.